Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Tap the screen. I'm just getting live on Twitch, YouTube, and X. Just give me a couple seconds to refresh us. I think we should be good soon. Oh, if YouTube will behave, we're going to be good. It is Friday. We made it. I have so much interesting information to talk about. Did I not say yesterday, based on that private sector jobs report, something is really wrong with the economy? We're going to talk about the economy, the jobs report that has come out. I found a great analysis. Hey, Leah, what's going on? Sorry, I couldn't close the window. Give me 1 second and I'm going to be done. We're live on X, Twitch. Let me get us live on YouTube. Okay, there we go. I think we're good. Thank you so much. Hey, Rainy, long time no see, but always good to see you. Happy Friday. What do I need to do? Okay, sorry, let me handle these notifications from TikTok Studio. Thank you guys so much for the gifts. Let me just, oh my gosh, sorry. I got medicine. I went to the doctor yesterday, so I'm good. I'll be okay. I'm just losing my voice a little bit. Okay, there we go. Let me do... Sorry, TikTok Studio's telling me to do 3 things. I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're good. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciated it. Hello, happy Friday. Let's get some people in here. I have some really good analysis on the economy we're going to do, and we're going to get to that RFK hearing because I think that is like such a... I mean, I've never seen a congressional hearing like that, which, I mean, that's par for the... Sorry, my iPad went to sleep. Okay, there we go. It should be casting. Give me a second. Okay, it is. We're good. There we go. Hey, Will. I love that name. Good Will Hunt. That's a great internet. I need to think of a catchier name. Everyone has better names on the internet than me. I've been thinking about that. The problem is, like, you rebrand and people are like, who the hell are you? Okay, we are live on TikTok. I'm just letting people join. Tap the screen. Hello, YouTube. Hi, Twitch. Oh, wait, hold on. I cannot see the Twitch chat. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, we're gonna watch. I have the whole RFK hearing clip, like all the best parts we were talking about. We just watched one part of it yesterday. Lahua, thank you for the super chat. It is Aloha Friday. Amen. It's a good Friday. I'm feeling good. I mean, yeah. So back to speak to the RFK hearing. Yeah, I have clipped it. I have all the best clips. I know people in the comments were saying, oh, this is the part I liked. This is the part I liked. I think I have pretty much all, like, I've never seen people go at RFK like that. Like at the end, he was just like, I think I will spare everyone like the torture and just let this end. Cause like, the chair was asking him like, hey, if you want to like correct anything you think people lied about or like make some statements, and RFK literally was like, no, I think I'll put everyone out of their misery or something. Just like slunk away. So we're going to get to that. I think I'm going to start with the jobs report because I was talking about how important and vital this jobs report, when I saw the ADP, the private sector jobs report, come out yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, because today's report is the government's job reports, which includes, you know, private, public, the survey of the households, and then as well the adjustments for past months, right? Which, I mean, and I found the best analysis. This is why I got into like Wall Street accounts and started like and how I really became interested in the S&P 500, because some of these reports and analyses like that come out of Wall Street are some of the best. So I have a really great analysis on this, and we're all going to learn a lot and have the best time. Sorry, give me 1 second. One of my water bottles tipped over. Okay, and my God, I'm sorry, I was just reading this news about this Hyundai plant that was raided. Oh my God. I'm not going to talk about the Hyundai plant raid and like what's going on with that, just because I want to do my own research. I know like Anna Paulina Luna. I can't bother to sign the Jeffrey Epstein discharge petition of American children who were trafficked, but I can start saying that every single person working in this Hyundai plant was a slave. That's interesting. You don't seem to care about trafficking slaves and helping them get justice, but now you're speaking on this. But I do want to say, I don't think this is just like a normal immigration raid. From the basic research I started doing, it does seem like they have been investigating this for months. Now, is that in any way linked to Trump's annoyance with Korea for refusing to make some sort of tariff deal? I don't know, but I'll look into it and we'll talk about it on Monday, because it does look like they're saying, hey, this has been an ongoing like federal investigation for 5 months, like into like illegal labor practices, hiring practices, and things like that. So before I speak on any of that, again, if you're just joining, there was a Hyundai plant in Georgia raided, and I think they got like 500. The majority of them are there. It's not brown people, though. I'm not saying the Hispanic people work there. It's primarily South Koreans, I believe. Yeah, nearly 500. Thank you, Dust Buddy. And I like exact numbers. Thank you. Do correct me. Tell me the facts. Thank you. That's correct. It is nearly 500. It is not 500. Oh, this says 475, so it's 476. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, but I think they're mostly, I think, South Koreans, and I'll look into that, because I think there was like a long investigation going on, so I don't want to comment on that and act like it's just a regular ICE raid, because it does seem like a little bit more. Sorry, I'm just opening up I have so many different charts. I'm excited. Okay. So I want to just let's all tap the screen. Can everyone share the live with 10 people? Let's get some more people in here. Tap the screen. Again, wait, hold on. Oh, I do have the gift goal pin. Sorry, I'm just thinking of what I can do. I can't promote this live. I know on Fridays, less people are usually in the live. I just have some important economic data to go through. So I would let's see here if I can do this. Budget and duration, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I'm just looking to see how I'm optimizing the live. I'm just reading things in TikTok Studio, and there are suggestions about getting more people in here. Tap the screen. Okay, we have 25 more people in here. Perfect. Let's get 200 more people in here. Wait, what was it I needed to tell you guys before I got into the economics? Sorry, I know there's something I needed to say. I know. Oh, yeah. Okay. I have it open. I opened all these tabs that I wanted to read from. Oh, yeah. I wanted to say, Jerry, I always say, I think it's Nadler, or it's Nadler, whatever, that retired. He's retiring, and thank God, and he kind of made reference to, hey, it's time for like a new generation of people. Well, I don't know if anyone's seen this, but there is speculation, right, which Chelsea Clinton is saying she's not going to run for Jerry Nadler's spot, which is actually more interesting, because who is considering running in Jerry Nadler's spot, which I would absolutely love? Jack Schlossberg, right? Which is Carolyn Kennedy's is it Carolyn Kennedy's son? I always get like the family tree of the Kennedys. I love Jack Schlossberg. If you've watched his content, I've played it on here. Like, he's highly intelligent. This is not me being shallow or creepy, because like, he's much younger than me. Like, I'm not saying I've never dated anyone younger than me in my life. Like, I'm not saying I'm trying to date him. I'm just saying I think we'd all be delusional to say looks don't matter in a race. Or let me just say this, even overlooks. You know what fascinated me? Like, I don't even think until the 2024 presidential election I understood the absolute idiocy of the average American, because when you would start testing and polling about the Kennedy name, like, everybody was like, oh, Trump's, a Kennedy wants to work with Trump. That means Trump's an honest guy. Like, I thought everyone knew RFK Jr. was like a creepy H user by his own admission, among other things. Like, I didn't think like that Kennedy brand would extend to RFK Jr., which apparently it effing does. So yeah, like, I'm just pointing out Jack Schlossberg, who is highly intelligent, like highly empathetic, well educated, has the power of the Kennedy name, and not just has that name, and everyone else in the family will write letters that go into the congressional record saying he's a sociopath. Which, if you're like, what are you talking about? Remember that when we watched this RFK Jr. hearing today, that happened. I read the letter aloud. And played a video of Carolyn Kennedy reading it, basically saying, yeah, RFK Jr., it's been long thought in our family he's a sociopath, like who like tortures animals and tortures people. Let me look, Kim, I'll look and I'll find, if I have it in an outline, I know I do. So I either can find the clip and play the link, or I have it in one of my many, shared album presentations. So yeah, I'll find it. I don't think I played the whole thing, but I have it like clipped in parts, where they talk about how long he abused other family members, like was abusing animals, like how terrifying he was when they were growing up together, like how he displays traits of like antisocial behavior. Yeah, like I know we do need MAGA to know the facts. You tell me how to get. It's just, the problem with that is not just that they're dumb, but like with cognitive dissonance. I did so much research into cognitive dissonance and reading scientific studies about it. And the problem is like, this is science. Like, they are not taking in new information because it's considered a threat to their survival. Like, that's what it is. They're trying to remain in an information silo and a community of idiot cult members. And the requirement of that is you never take in new information that opposes the current belief system. So it's almost like, it's like we are throwing, like, Julie just wrote facts. We're throwing facts at them, and it's literally, they're repelling them. Like, no, my continued survival is dependent on me not receiving this information. like that is, and I'm saying scientifically in their brain, that is what is happening, not like them processing this and deciding. It is like a subconscious decision, like, that is happening inside them. So yeah, we have that's why the education of MAGA is such an uphill battle. But I think in my opinion, oh my God, Knitting Cult Lady. See, I didn't need you guys to remind me. I was like, God, not again. Knitting Cult Lady talks about it, how like, as pressure increases and conditions inside a cult become more and more difficult and adverse, then the outer fringes of, the people who, and I think like when I do a lot of research on cults, like religious cults, the fringe, the people that you can that you peel off who are looking to escape are usually the people experiencing the most adverse conditions, like women who are like, wait a minute, this sucks in here. I have no rights. Nobody values me in any way. But let's say we're going to go through some explosive economic data. I've never seen it. And Trump tried to erase the pandemic and pretend like we were all just playing around with the economy. We survived a worldwide pandemic and recovered the best mathematically, statistically in the G7. And but Trump's plan was pretend there never was a pandemic and just act like Biden did all that for fun. The opposite is actually true, right? Everything Trump has done to this economy and these terrifying, it's unbelievable to look at these numbers in this jobs report that came out. And I just want to point out who for what month? It's September, August, July, even in June before it came out, who's been talking about we are in stagflation? And then the few MAGA men I've debated all summer are like, you don't know what you're talking about, not in stagflation. So when I present that every Wall Street analysts are now saying we are where? All up in stagflation, I would like to point out that someone called it correctly, literally in the first week of June. Just saying that Yeah, Mark, I know nothing. And that's how I know you know nothing. Like, God, how insecure are men? Jesus Christ. Happy Friday. Mark says, I know nothing. You read the room, Mark. Let me just tell you something. There are 229 people in here now. There'll probably be like 600 in a little bit. And if I didn't know anything, I'm a highly, highly intelligent woman, highly intelligent, and still people don't respect it. You know what I'm saying? If I was a white male, there'd be 5,000 people in here. That's the truth. That is how much I actually do know. Not because I just think I have some sort of arrogance, like idiot men that think they're smart. It's because I do the work, because I spend hours doing research, because I have a history degree, and part of that is learning how to do research, learning how to find information and take in tons of information and then spit out, like, make it easily digestible. That came from when I was a second grade teacher. I also used to work in marketing and advertising in the tech industry. So my information about how to effectively package and market and teach information online comes from that. So run away, Mark. You have no idea who you're talking to. But I know you saw a woman and you thought you'd just, like, take a shot and say I was an idiot. Like, classic insecure, uneducated white male. And you're about, Mark, why don't you just stay in the background and learn? Because I just want to say something. This is not time to say idiotic things in the comments or hurl ad homs. Like, we're actually here on the People's Receipts. We use primary and secondary sources. You probably don't know what that means, to just point out the facts of who is actually robbing us, where all of our money is gone, how the economy is being mismanaged, and things of that nature. Yeah. Mark says I'm not intelligent. Like, just scream, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I voted for a guy who says men shouldn't wear makeup and has a full face of literally looks like an orange clown every day, has a full face of makeup on every single day, is literally in drag while we all sit here. And then, like, that's the thing. We can stop there at that hypocrisy. You can literally stop there. Let's all tap the screen. Okay, we have 254 people. That's enough, I think, to get started. I just didn't want to start getting into too much economic data. But again, I just want to remind you of what I was talking about before Mark said something decidedly unintelligent. Jerry Nadler is retiring, and it was rumored Chelsea Clinton might try to run for a seat, which is and her team is denying reports she plans to enter the race to replace Jerry Nadler. But the coolest part is the rumors that haven't been denied is that Jack Schlossberg is going to, who is Carolyn Kennedy's son, who's brilliant. Oh yeah, I washed my hair finally. You're welcome. And straightened it. It took me like 6 hours to straighten my hair. But Jack Mark's somewhere. Mark's like, uh-oh, like, I was not prepared. I just thought I was going to verbally attack a woman and she wasn't going to answer back. And I would just damage her self-esteem. And, because that's what I do in the patriarchy. I'm an insecure man who punches down. Like, yeah, he didn't think I was going to answer back. He just was like, someone made me feel insecure today, so I need to find a woman and make her feel insecure. That was a nice try, Mark. You need to be in therapy. You can even use a chat bot as therapy. Thank you. I will reset the gift goal. Thank you. Hallmark Life Coach. We're all looking for a life coach. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Do not pay attention to what. Oh, you guys can't see because of my necklace came off. It is like down my. Okay. I'm just taking off. I don't have time to figure that out. I'm resetting the gift goal. I was like, everyone's going to see me and think something weird is going on. Hold on. Let me just reset this gift goal, because if I wait too long, then it just gets more annoying in TikTok's video. Hold on. Pin. Got it. Okay. And I need to update the other goal. One more update, and then we're going to get this party started, which is going to end with us humiliating RFK Jr., which is going to be, I think this is going to be a nice little Friday. That man is, and I did a bunch of statistical analyses, because everything he was saying during that hearing yesterday was just I don't talk a lot about the medical misinformation and the damage to our healthcare system, not because I don't care about it, but because it's so infuriating to me that like it ruins my day to talk about. So like I was doing a lot of research on all of the lies that RFK was telling in that hearing. This man is a prolific liar. And actually, I don't even know if he just has no idea what he's talking about. Like, breathing like Darth Vader, like if Darth Vader's lung someone stabbed Darth Vader in the lung is how he sounds. Like, you're telling us you're gonna make us healthy like you are? I don't want to be healthy like you are, RFK. I don't want to be healthy like Donald Trump is. You guys look like you're on death's door and sound like you're on death's door. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna get to the breathing. You know me, I don't just clip congressional hearings. Like, I got the breathing when they had to, like, literally someone, like one of his aides had to be like, had to go whisper in his ear, like, please mute your goddamn microphone, because like people were like nauseous from his like gross breathing. Like, people were literally like senators were like, I can't stay in here unless he mutes his microphone. And then even after they had to remind him like 700 times, like, please, we can't stand to listen to your labored, collapsed lung breathing while lying to us about medical science and telling us you're somehow the healthiest, smartest one here. He just kept not muting his damn microphone. It just kept happening again. And like people would be trying to question him, and all you'd hear is like, I'm gonna make us healthy. It's like, you sir need to make yourself healthy. You need to go away for a while. Like, we are very concerned about you. Don't worry about the rest of us. You take care of you. Like, I can't even. Thank you. Hey, Chrissy, love you. Tap the screen. Let's get to 100K as fast as possible. Tap, tap, tap. Tapping is clapping. Again, the people's receipts and all the hours of research I do. I do that. This is my job. I do it based on tips and donations. This is my Cash App and Venmo if you would like to support me. Also, we're almost to the subscription goal. Maybe today's the day you can buy multiple subscriptions at once. I know, like, people are telling me you can't. You have to do it singles at a time. So if you would like to subscribe, that's that yellow star in the bottom corner. Also, I don't talk about follows a lot, but follow me. It's like, I keep hearing like creators who make content on TikTok talking about how shadow banned they are. I've been shadow banned. I have an account manager or access to account managers that work at TikTok, and they've basically told me, unless the way I do my lives and then post the clips, like, they will continue to be shadow banned. So like, I've been shadow banned. Welcome to hell. But this is just the way I like to teach. And I think this is the way people with ADHD need to learn. Like, I could read you all this economic data, but without visual aids, without using like multiple sources and videos and stuff, I don't think we could follow it. If I just sat here and it was just me reading this shit, like, in 2 minutes, I'd give up, you know? So like, there's a reason I do my lives like this, because this is how I wish someone would have taught me when I had ADHD. And the more we all scroll the internet, I think we all have it, whether we know it or not. Chris, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. RFK has to go. I mean, truly, I thought we had Trump was senile. Like, it's just so the Trump administration, like, just the most frail. And you know what else is funny? Like, we have to hear about how, for some reason, I just want you to know there's probably so many things wrong with RFK, but one of the things we know for sure that when I used to see him talking about on Red Pill podcasts all the time is how all men, you know, the same thing they say is hurting trans folk, which is testosterone. You know, that's what RFK is on, is unbelievable amounts of testosterone. He's like almost an 80-year-old man just overdosing on testosterone, in my opinion. But I mean, he's talked about this with like Joe Rogan and other people on podcasts, and thinks like he's looking good. Like, you look terrible. You literally looks like you are melting, sir. Stop, please. And I don't even think that's a spray tan. Like, I think the melanoma is about to overtake him at any moment. I don't know what is going on with RFK. Yeah, RFK is doing gender affirming care. Thank you. And I used to make that point all the time to the point where I got tired of it. But that's what you need to explain when you have, I know, I'm sorry, I didn't see. Someone said they were going to a funeral for their MAGA family member tomorrow, like soon. And yeah, like that's what you need to explain to them is, you know, all of these red pilled bros like Joe Rogan and everyone who's like, oh, you're not feeling quite like a man because 90% of us all have male pattern baldness and these like guts and like weren't men in the first place because we treat women like shit. All of that. Well, just get on some tea gel or whatever, you know. Yeah, I mean, that is gender affirming care. I just want to be clear. When you don't feel quite man enough, you don't like your reflection in the mirror, and the person you want to be or think you are in your mind doesn't match when you look in the mirror and you see a bald fat guy, and then you start taking testosterone supplements, that's gender affirming care. Like, that's the irony. The largest cross-section in America on gender-affirming care is ironically red-pilled men. So, like, that's what you need to explain to them, right? If you need to get some Rogaine because you're bald, gender-affirming care. Anything you do, like when women get B jobs, hey, I don't feel quite woman enough, I'm being bullied, that's gender affirming care. Anything you do to make you feel more like your appearance matches who you are inside, gender affirming care. That's what you're doing. So I just find it, specifically when we get into the hormones though, you know what I mean? Like what they're like, oh, the same medication I'm picking up from the pharmacy every month, gotta deny that to trans folk. I should be the only person allowed to do gender affirming care. Like the irony will never be lost on me with these people. Oh, hey, Chrissy, you just got home from surgery. Oh, I love it. Must be feeling good. Amazing. I love general anesthesia. Like, it's like it's like the best chance to just power down for a while. Or partial anesthesia. I'm here for all of it. Just getting extra laughing gas at the dentist. Anything to just check out. Yeah, those blue pills, gender affirming care. I think in 2022 we spent, it's between 34 and 36 million in the military budget solely on Viagra. Gender affirming care. You guys want to feel like men? Gender affirming care. And we allow you insecure men to do gender affirming care. And then you're trying to gatekeep what you guys are doing and saying, hey, we're the only bunch of insecure people who have body dysmorphia. We will be the only people with body dysmorphia who get treatment. Like, it's so ridiculous. Sorry. Okay. That was my last drink. Let's get this party started so we can get to mocking RFK. But first, I talked about this yesterday. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go through these because this is the best analysis. I mean, the jobs report that came out this morning we're back in the pandemic, but like I talked about, remember, this is self-inflicted. This is ballistic podiatry, which is an intelligent way of saying shooting yourself in the foot. This situation we're in never had to happen. It's just because an insecure white male who puts a full face of terrible makeup on every day decided to try to do an authoritarian takeover and started messing around with the economy when he is completely unqualified to. Like, that's the reason. None of this had to happen. And I just want to point out, since the first week of June, I'm like, we're in stagflation. So, and I was saying this before most of you got here, but this is one of the many stock market accounts I follow. I'm obsessed with the stock market. It tells a lot about the economy. But this is @_InvestInQ. This is an amazing account, like with tons of information about the economy. This is a thread they made, which I was like, I looked at many threads done by all types of economists, like chief economists for banks and stuff. And this account is always amazing. I also was I recommend following when I do my deep financial dives into all the Congress people using insider tips to outperform the stock market, unofficial whales, their accounts across the internet, they're on YouTube, they're on X, they're on Blue Sky, whatever, follow unofficial whales as well. So again, just the person that's been saying this since June, the Fed's worst nightmare is here, stagflation. Growth is stalling, unemployment is rising, and inflation is still sticky. So just to, again, because I think for a long time we were all very unsure, and it's okay to be unsure about the economy. There's a great progressive insurance commercial where they're like people standing around like a kitchen island being like, oh, the economy, and you can tell everyone's unsure of like how to speak to the economy, like what any of it actually means. And I used to feel that way as well. It's just, thank you, Lori. It's just important to like start familiarizing ourselves with it. And I just want to say, like, TikTok is a great source to learn about the economy, but so is AI. I want to say this. AI is not a primary source. It's not a secondary source, but it is an amazing tool to direct you. Use an AI tool that will cite sources. And, you know, you can have, like, I use chatbots as economics professors, and we have these like high level conversations, and then I tie that into other AI tools that help me like source information and find secondary sources that can then lead to primary sources, right? It's not just, yeah, thank you. It's a search helper, or it's a starting point, I think is a great way to think about AI. It's not the end all be all. AI can give you information that's not the best, right? Like, and you know, and it can give you amazing information, but it's just a tool, exactly. It's a starting point of where to go next, right? Don't waste your time figuring all that out. Let AI give you an amazing starting point and some resources, and then reverse engineer, right? It's like what used to take forever when I learned to be like a historical researcher. I can't even tell you. I was like, this is the worst job. Like, we would just be in like dusty stacks in the library, learning how to look all this stuff up manually because we had professors that were angry the internet existed and everything that was being automated. Like, yeah, we don't have to live like that anymore. AI is a great tool to gather a bunch of information together. It's a great starting point for research. So that's how I use it, you know, and also just to have high level conversations about things, you know, about the ties between things, which I'll get more into in a second. But again, if you're like, I'm still not clear on stagflation, just understand stagflation is a quagmire. MAGA, you probably won't understand what that word means, so you're going to have to look it up. But stagflation is a position in the economy where there's no right answer. It means that unemployment is crashing, so the unemployment rate is going up, and inflation is rising. And normally, if no one's hiring and inflation, you know, the answer to that is simple. We lower interest rates, right? We make money cheaper to borrow, we infuse money into the economy, and then more people hire. That's usually the answer. But when inflation is being driven up, like in an unprecedented way, which is what's happening with tariffs, right? The price of goods are skyrocketing out of control. What do you do when the price of goods is up? You definitely don't lower interest rates. You hold them steady, right? So, and stagflation is like, hey, we're having two problems and the fixes are the opposite solution. So if we lower interest rates, sure, maybe we'll hire more people, but inflation is going to go up, up, up. Right? And that's probably at this point what we may have to do. Like, the prices of things are going to go up. And that's why I say our economic policy at this point, from a macro view, is a policy of eugenics. It's a giant culling of the population. It's, hey, the lower class, because there's no middle class anymore, is demanding healthcare. They're demanding income equality. They're demanding all these things. And since we don't want to do that, maybe we'll just, you know, make it so inhospitable for them to survive in this economy that they're no longer with us. Okay. So growth is stalling, unemployment is rising. That's essentially what stagflation is. And today's payrolls confirmed it. Just 22,000 jobs were added in August. And I want to tell you something. This number can be adjusted again. That's how scary this is, right? This is the unadjusted August job numbers. That's what you need to understand, because the June and July adjustment numbers came in. So understand this isn't the final number. That could be adjusted up or down, because remember, when we're talking about job reports, it is essentially, can we all tap the screen? No, but thank you to the 2 people who are tapping the screen. Thank you. And your tired fingers need a break. Everyone, tap that screen. Tap, 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 and share the live. That's that yellow or that arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. Share the live. If you don't have anyone to share it with, push the copy link button. That counts as a share. Let's get as many people in here as possible. Just hanging. Thank you for the super chat on YouTube. Love you guys. You're amazing. Thank you for keeping us updated. And thank you for being here. I love doing this. You guys are my family, so I appreciate it so much. Sorry, just my throat is killing. Don't worry, I went to the doctor yesterday. I'm going to be okay. But I just need to just remind me to keep hydrating, because I feel like my throat has been cheese grated. Okay, let's move along. And again, if you want to find this thread, actually, I'll put it in. I'm going to at everyone. Join the Discord if you want. 10 of 10 recommend. I'm just going to at everyone, or this will be in the general chat if you don't have your settings set to get updates. I'll do that in 1 second once we get going, because this is one of the best. Oh, I'm in the wrong outline. I was like, this doesn't even look familiar. Hold on, I'll do it in a second. I'll do it from my phone. It's easier. I hate adding things from the computer. Okay, so again, we're definitely in stagflation. We own the unadjusted jobs number is 22,000 for August. That's terrifying. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I only read through this once. So this is a great explanation too. If you're ever looking to explain to family members, that's why I suggest finding this thread. This is one of the most comprehensive threads I've ever seen on a jobs report. So stagflation is the rare moment when an economy gets hit from both sides. Inflation is rising, employment is dropping. Growth is too weak to create jobs, but inflation is still too strong to give households relief. Normally, one eases when the other worsens. And right now, we're in a situation where they're both getting worse at the same time. So it's a quagmire. Okay, for the Fed, stagflation is a nightmare because the usual tools don't work, which I talked about. Cutting rates might ease job losses, but it risks fueling more inflation. Hiking rates might tame prices, but it will kill more jobs. It's a corner with no good exits, also known as a quagmire. That's why the August jobs report hit so hard. So this is what came out this morning. Wall Street, so the projections on Wall Street, the financial analysts were saying they expected between 40K and 100K jobs to be added. I just want you to understand that, like, when less than, 175,000 jobs were added during Biden's economy, they're like, this is a trash economy. I need you to understand how terrible what Trump has done is. Because I can list numbers to you and say, hey, this is how many jobs were added, or they were thinking 40 to 100,000 would be added. That's abysmal. If there was a Democratic president in the White House, there'd be a J6 going on. Fox News would be like, this is the most garbage, idiot human being to ever run the country. And for some reason, I have that clip. That's funny you say that, Dust Bunny. I know exactly what, Dust Bunny, which I'm going to try to start pinning these so people on, that's what I was thinking to myself yesterday. I should pin them. Yeah, there's a bunch of Arkansas farmers that were at, like, crying at, like, not, and I just want to be clear, what scared me most about this, like, rally, they're like, we're losing everything, like, we can't turn a profit. They don't blame Trump, though. Like, they're not at the point, they're like not at the point where they're going to blame Trump yet. Yes, it's like doing a rain dance, you know what I mean? And, like, hoping it's going to rain. It's like, bless your hearts, but honestly, like, if you're not even willing to identify who's robbing you, who's put you in this situation, then yeah, you keep praying, because that's what malignant narcissists do. They always listen to prayer. Anyways, so Wall Street expected, the projections were between 40K. So on the lowest end, they're like at least 40K. I just again want to say that if under a Democratic president, 40,000 jobs were created, there would be a mutiny. They'd be like, this man is garbage and has to go. Instead, the economy barely managed 22K. Most important thing to understand, that is the unrevised number, is 22K. Like, this is trash. Now, this is where it gets even, you're like, that's terrible. But wait, the bar is in hell and it can always go lower. So understand when I say that's the unrevised number, but what came out in today's August jobs report are the revisions. Remember Trump, what happened last jobs report? He had to fire just a random person who had nothing to do with it. Like, because he doesn't understand how jobs reports work. And he's like, I got to blame this on someone. I promised myself to not fire anyone in my own administration, including the alleged Russian spy I accidentally hired and gave access to all of the White House administration data for 6 months, and who may or may not now be a Russian spy who told me his name was Sergio Gore, and I let him operate for 6 months without ever submitting any information for a background check, and then it turned out his last name is actually Gorokoski, and instead of still firing him, I made him the ambassador to India. Now, I wish that was a story I had just made up, but that is just one thing that happened this week. That's just something that was going on Monday, which that's another story entirely. And I doubt Trump's surprised. I actually think he just made him the ambassador to India so he can fly there and slink away. Why does no one know about this but me? Why? I mean, I do a lot of research. Why does no one know that Trump most likely hired a Russian spy? I said this. I'm like, where the did this man come from? Because I always talk about, I always follow the money. I always look at the PACs that are funneling money, the dark money going into like Trump's very corrupt campaign finance system. And this guy popped out of nowhere and was raising all of this money that no one knew where it was coming from, which in Trump land is, you're my favorite person now. I don't care where the money's coming from. Like, there's just all this money funneling in. So Trump made him in charge of every single. I know that's my point, Linda. That's where, yeah. I'm burying the lead, but Linda, that's the ultimate point. Like, hold on, let me pin that. I'm gonna try to remember to do this more. The ultimate point is the only thing I can't decide about Trump employing a alleged Russian spy is like how much he knew about it. I think he might have known. Like, so imagine Trump allowed a Russian spy to access the entire Office of Business and Business and or the OMB, Management and Business for the White House, which is every single like bit of data we have. And by the way, no one has ever heard his name because he's very good at going under the radar. Like, this article came out, I can no longer find. I remember when I first realized who he was. You remember which MAGA doesn't know anything about this. They think Trump's idea to have a Madison Square Garden rally was his own. Remember Trump's Madison Square Garden rally, MAGA? Yeah. Well, that wasn't his idea. That was Mustache Man's idea. Mustache Man had a schmatzy rally at Madison Square Garden where where they were screaming and yelling about, immigrants and all of the points Trump hit at that Madison Square Garden rally before the election. Yeah, that was the same thing that happened with schmatzis at Madison Square Garden. And that was the first time I saw Sergio Gore. And I remember when I was like watching Steve Bannon talk about him, I'll say this, Steve Bannon didn't trust him. Steve Bannon was like, who is this guy kind of thing, like on his show and stuff. Like, see, and I'll say when Steve Bannon is implying he's wary of someone, that is usually my clue to like look into who someone is. The other thing that scared me, like I said, an article came out after that I still to this day can't find, and you guys know how detailed I am with research. And it was this article, and Marjorie Taylor Greene was interviewed. Like, people all over the Republican Party were interviewed, and you could tell by their quotes and things they were terrified of him. Like, that this man had the power to hire and fire anyone, that every cabinet position, every position in the civil service that went out was decided by him. who is now allegedly a Russian spy. Before we get more, I'm just going to show you this. Let me show you a clip about it, just so no one has to. I know if any MAGA men are in here, they're thinking, well, this is just a woman with a tiny, like, let me just confirm, because, major news networks. And by the way, this reporting, which is, it's always fascinating when this stuff comes out, it originated from Rupert Murdoch. I'm always fascinated by the things that Rupert Murdoch is very clearly deciding, I want people to know this is going on. And he didn't use the Wall Street Journal, which he owns. He didn't use Fox News, because that's where he makes all his money off idiot Trump lovers and lying to them. He started leaking this information through the New York Post, which is so crazy. Hold on, let me just, sorry. I think, what was the first day I did a live? Wednesday. Okay, give me 1 second. I have it right here waiting for us to all despise Trump. I mean, MAGA, you won't care. You're so used to being defrauded, you just think you'll think I'm a liar, but who cares? Whatever happens, don't be bothered by the fact Trump is not smart enough to not hire a spy. Nothing to see here. Nothing that should concern anyone about that. Wait, it's 9:03. Sorry, I'm just finding this clip. Hold on. I'm sorry. No matter how much I try, I will never be able to type on an iPad. Give me 1 second. It is... What? Sorry, I'm just having trouble. I will find this or I will freak out. What day was it? I was talking on Wednesday that I wanted to show you guys this, right? Sorry, I'm just thinking of when I posted this to my account. Was I telling you on Wednesday that Trump, I think it was Wednesday. Hold on. Let me go back to so that would be 9:03. I know where I can find it. There it is. Sorry. I couldn't find my right outline. Trump's hiring a spy. Where is it? I need to look through my outline. 9:03. No, I feel like it was a day before this, though, but I didn't go live. Oh, I have 2 outlines for 9:30. That's right. I'm sorry. I made 2 presentations. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have to start deleting some of these. Oh, don't worry. Found it. Me. Oh, it's been deleted. Holy shit. This is a Rachel Maddow, listen to that's insane. It's no longer on the internet. Holy sh! So it's number 40. That's why I couldn't find it. It's number 40. I think I have it on my phone somewhere though. So this is what it was posted, and it was played on Rachel Maddow's show on Monday. Trump appointed a Russian spy, Sergio Gore, as his chief of presidential appointments. Sergio lied about where he was born and refused to submit the paperwork for a proper security clearance. Sergio appointed 4,000 people to the federal government before Trump fired him. I'm just out of curiosity. Let me search this and see if it's still on X, because that is insane. I wonder why it's gone now. See, this is for-profit media. That is crazy. Let me see if I can get something. Oh, other people are reporting on it, but that clip is gone. I think I have it on my phone. I think I have this. Hold on a second. Now, I hate when people try to hide information. Hold on. I am 99.9% sure that exists on my phone. It couldn't somehow. That is crazy. Was it it was something she said on air. I don't know how it could be. And she was, Rachel Maddow does. She's citing source after source as she's reading. So it's I don't know. This is fascinating. I love a mystery. Okay, here we go. These are my clips from that day. It's got to be somewhere. So this was Friday. This is the CDC stuff. I know I have this, and now I want to find it. Yep, there's Maxwell Frost. Okay, this is it. Here we go. It's got to be somewhere right here. Please, God, let me have this clip. Because that is crazy. When things disappear, in journalism, you are never, even if you misspell something, you're not supposed to delete the clip, because that's how, the laws of journalism, you're supposed to just correct it underneath. So for that clip to be gone, that's pretty crazy. Yep. Holy shit. Sorry, I'm just making sure I don't. Yeah, this is the Pritzker stuff from the same day, so it would be right before this. Hold on, I'm just seeing if I have it, because now I'm interested in why it's gone. I should have showed you that day when I said I had it. And I was like, I'm so tempted to just not talk about what I want to talk about so I could show you this. And then I was like, no, I need to stay on topic. Does anyone remember what I said? That this is what I was talking about. I was like, this is crazy. Okay. So let's see, survivors. So yeah, this is the day. It's got to be somewhere right here. What? This is Wednesday, right? We were talking about the survivors, and that's when I said, yeah, I need to show the clips of this. Sorry, I'm just reminding myself. That is insane. I cannot find that clip, nor can I know I screen recorded that. That is the weirdest thing. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying that's a strange thing. I'm just checking my Epstein thing, cover up list to make sure I didn't accidentally add it there. That is so crazy. I will never forget that. But yeah, I have the line item in my outline and it's gone. Very interesting. I'm just going to search Maddow, Sergio, Gore really quick. I'm just searching on X and seeing what comes up. Here we go. Wait, hold on. I think I saw, I don't know. Search. I think I found somebody that was trying to repost it. I'm just curious if it's all gone from the internet. That's so crazy. Rachel Maddow on-air takedown leaves Stephen Miller shattered to Washington reeling. Yeah. Here we go. It's gone. Oh my God, it's gone. So let me just show you something. I'm going to screenshot this and show you. This is the clip I had. I'm telling you, I screen recorded it. It's no longer on my phone. Look, you cannot go to the clip. But you can find the phantom links to it that are gone. That is insane. Somebody wiped the internet with that. I wonder if I DVR Rachel Maddow's show every single week. So I wonder if I went back, if it would still be there. Here, let me text that screenshot to myself because the cloud takes a while to update. I just want to show you guys that I'm not making this shit up. I still might have it somewhere. How could it be gone from my phone? That's the weirdest part. Here. Okay. Sorry, I don't like to go off on tangents, but this seems very important. This is important to me. I just want to show you I'm not crazy. This is the same clip from the same guy that came from Rachel Maddow's show. Trump appointed a Russian spy. Remember, this is a screenshot that I just took from X. This is a clip of Rachel Maddow's show. Right? And Jake Bro, who's a guy I follow, reposted it. Trump appointed a Russian spy, Sergio Go, as his chief of presidential appointments. Sergio lied about when he was born, and he refused to submit the paperwork for a proper security clearance. Sergio appointed 4,000 people. And then someone was reposting it. Top news. Rachel Maddow reporting, absolutely knocking it out of the park. Sergio Gore, Russian from Uzbekistan, who never completed security checks and was responsible for all appointments in the current Trump administration, has been fired. I can find the link in my outline. I know the only reason I know about it is because I screen recorded it. So it's so strange now. How long is that clip? 3 minutes and 27 seconds. And I can't find it. I never delete anything. I have like a terabyte of clips. That's going to drive me crazy for the rest of all eternity. Maybe I should be glad, because if I play it on the internet, maybe I'm about to be sued. But yeah, I would suggest, I don't know, if you record Rachel Maddow's show or last Monday's show, that is when she was talking about this, because I watch it every week. That is the first time I've ever seen like something like that happen. Great. This is a goddamn conspiracy. I feel so safe in America now. I'm just checking one more time. I feel like I'm losing my mind right now. That is so nuts. Anyways, I have to move on, but I don't know. I'll look at, trust me, I'm like, once I get interested in something, I'll find where that clip went. I will find where that clip went. This is not the last we are ever going to talk about that clip, because I cannot stand when weird things like that happen. I will figure out where that clip went. I know I had it. Like, I've never been more sure of something in my life, and now it's gone. Muy interesante. Anyways, we got to move on. Let me go back to today's. Okay. Anyways, Trump hired a alleged Russian spy who now is like, he's giving him a free pass to India, probably to disappear into Russia. Like, India's a very big friend of Russia. So I think, like, if Trump would, let me just put it this way. If you knew that someone had access to all that classified government data, had made every single hiring choice in your administration, it turns out that they had, well, first of all, a real person who was protecting America never would have hired someone without a security clearance. And then, without filling out the paperwork to do the background check to get the security credentials. So what I'm saying is, do you remember when Trump was first elected, and that's what they were talking about, that a bunch of unvetted people who had never had background checks had access to all this government information? And so that's my point. In my opinion, when I analyzed this situation and when I first heard about it and was screen recording this on Tuesday, I think that Trump did it on purpose. I don't think he didn't know. Right? Like, I think he knew time ran out, because it was like, there's only a certain amount of time you can be an interim employee without submitting to a background check. That passed. And then, like, legal things were happening. So he submitted the information, and instead of firing him, Trump made it so he was just is being mailed to India as the ambassador. Like, I think that's one of the shadiest things that's ever happened in the Trump administration, and we should all be terrified of it. Anyways, that is so crazy. That's like the bag thrown out of the White House that Trump's trying to say was AI. That's the same level of what the is going on. Anyways, hold on. Okay. Let's move on. Revisions. I'm talking about the jobs report, which we are now well into stagflation. Liam, hold on. Let me just check, because I think, is this a different account of yours, Liam? Is this the same Liam I've talked to before? Hold on. Let me just see what this gentleman wants. I think Liam's a Trump supporter, right?
Hey, what's going on?
We've talked before, right?
Maybe a long time ago.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump? For some reason I thought
Absolutely, I voted. Me and 77 million other people.
Okay.
Is that triggering?
No, I mean, only if you say that a majority of Americans voted for Trump. That would just be triggering to me, because you don't know the difference between a majority and a plurality. The
overwhelming majority of the voters.
Do you see? I just helped him. Does anyone just see that I helped him? I gave him the answer to a mathematical problem, and
Why are you
still,
crashing out?
it's still he got no. I gave you the answer. This is so. It's one of two things. Either, which I